Okay, the color and clear is on the cab. So you can see it's a two-tone. Went ahead and did the white first, then masked it all off and painted the turquoise, then pulled all the masking off and went ahead and cleared it. So now it's all set. Came out pretty good. Now I have to probably wait about 24 hours or so. I don't keep the heat on all night in the garage here. I turn it down to 40, so it might take an extra day or so for everything to set up. Then I will go ahead and color sand it with 1500 and buff it. And then it'll be ready to go back on the frame. My friend's got the frame all done and he's rebuilt the engine. So all that's all set, and I already have the bed done, so it can go back on there. Now when I buff it, I won't buff out the door jambs. They're too hard to buff and too many body lines and stuff, and plus they're door jambs, you really don't need them. And this truck isn't some museum piece. This is gonna be something that you can get out and drive, take it to cruise nights, local car shows, stuff like that. Now, the masking paper that's on the doors and the windows, I'll leave all that on until after it's been color sanded and buffed. That way I'll keep the whole inside of the truck clean instead of getting compound all over that I got to clean up. And then up here on the top of the cowl here, you can see the vent. So this is the old style where the vent's part of the body. So what I'll usually do is I'll take masking tape and I'll cover all this up and buff all around it so I don't get it all full of compound, and then afterwards just pull the masking tape off without any compound, just whatever residue's left on the pad, and just once over, chase over it to kind of even out the gloss. That usually works the best. But a lot of times you don't have to get in, like around where the wipers are, all down in there. You don't have to get in there and color sand and buff all that. I mean, you can, but it's a lot harder to do, and usually the clear flows out pretty good. So a few little spots here and there that I won't worry about getting wet sanded and buffed, but the main big areas, yeah, you want to get those all wet sanded and buffed. So you can see it laid down pretty good, not too shabby. A little bit of orange peel in it, but that's expected. So far I haven't found any runs. Usually I sign it in at least one little spot somewhere for some reason. Can't get away from it. Now it's February and I don't understand it, but after I put the second coat of clear on, I came back and there's a frickin' fly stuck in a little spot on the door jamb. But luckily the clear was still wet, so I picked them out and it flowed out. So I don't know where a fly comes from in the middle of February. I would have thought they were all gone by now, but he must have been sleeping in the barn here somewhere, and the heat inside the building warmed him up, came to life, and had to go land in my clear. Never fails. So, but there you have it. So I'll post another video when I get the doors all done. That's the next step after this gets buffed. I got to get the doors. You can see them over there. We got them. I did that the other day. I showed you I got them in primer, so now we got to block them out, get them reprimed, and then get the insides of the jambs all sanded and get those painted with single stage. And then I can go ahead and get the outsides of the doors painted. So like I said, I probably got about another week's worth of work going on that stuff. And that'll be all done. And then I can start getting this truck back together and get it out of my shop. So now, if you're wondering why I did the two-tone the way I did down there, that's actually the way Ford did it. And it makes it a lot easier because if you look at these little indentations here, it's really hard to run a straight tape line with going in and out of each one of those. And then everywhere it bends on one of those, the tape likes to peel up a little bit, and then you get a little overspray burn through. So this is a much easier way of doing it. And then once the bed is on there, all you're really going to see, once the bed's on there like that, that's all you're really going to see. You can't really see my hand there so well. But believe me, you're not really going to see much more than just a little edge of the cab corner there. So we don't need to shoot across the whole back like that. So there you go. Check back with you again in another few days.